Okay, this is Advanced Math 7.3 notes. That's Unit 7, Lesson 3. Law of sines and area of a triangle is what we're talking about today. First thing I'm going to do is go over lines. There are multiple ones, but we're going to write it in one big shot. Okay, it looks like this. Sine of angle A over side A will always equal sine of angle B over... There's more, that's all I'm going to write for now. Know that you can flip-flop them. You can put side A over sine A equals side B over sine B. As long as you flip them both, it's still going to equal. Does that make sense? Yes? And these will always also equal sine of what? Angle C over little c. Now you're only going to use two at a time. I'm writing them all down together, but you're technically only going to be using two at a time. So you can use AA with BB, or BB with CC, or AA with CC. It just depends on what's given and what you're looking for. Got it? All right. Solve the triangle. Remember, that means you're finding all missing sides and missing angles. Number 1, angle A equals 35 degrees, angle B equals 62 degrees, and side A is 15. All right, we are no longer dealing with right triangles unless they tell us one of the angles is 90. We do not assume these are right triangles. Got it? Okay, so let's draw our picture. How you draw your triangle and how you label your ABC does not matter. As long as you put everything in the right spot, our pictures may look different, but our answer should come out the same. Okay, what's given? Angle A is 35 degrees, angle B is 62 degrees, and side A is 15. Where is side A? AB, BC, or AC? BC. This is side A. Does everybody agree?
How do you know that?
How do we know that? Because that's always opposite its angle. So little a is opposite angle A. Little b is opposite angle B, or side C is always opposite angle C.
And why do you write A instead of 15?
Because I messed up.
Okay.
Thank you. So instead of A, what should I have written there? 15. Okay. Do we all agree? Okay, thank you. Over here, I'm going to write down what were all the little bits and pieces. Angle A, angle B, angle C equals blank, blank, blank. Side A, side B, side C equals blank, blank, blank. All right, what's given to us already? Angle A is 35 degrees. Angle B is 62 degrees. Side A is 15, and everything else we are looking for. What's the easiest thing to find right off? Angle C. It doesn't have to be a right triangle to find angle C. The sum of the interior angles of any triangle always equals what? I'm going to let you guys find that right now. Add, subtract, what's the measure of angle C? $83 degrees. Does everybody agree? Okay, I will tell you right now, actually, I'll tell you maybe on the next one. For now, let's work it out. Okay, does it matter which side we find first? In this particular problem, it does not. Sometimes it does, but since I know both of the angles, angle B and angle C, it doesn't matter. Okay, now you use law of sines when you know one angle and one side. Do we know one angle and one corresponding side? Yes. Okay, so we do sine of 35 over 15 equals, and let's find side B first. Where is side B? AC or AB? This is side B because it's opposite angle B. Do you agree? According to the formula, what is it going to equal? If I'm looking for side B, what am I going to have up here? Sine of what? Okay, so that's the formula we're going to use. Sine of 35 over 15, because those two are corresponding, sine of 35 over 15 equals, these two correspond, sine of 62 over B. We cross multiply and solve. So when I cross multiply, I end up with B times what?
Sine 35.
Sine 35 equals 15 times what?
Sine 62.
And then I'm solving for B, so what would I divide both sides by? Sine of 35. And it's ready to now plug in your calculator. Because you are dividing a sine by a sine, you will have to close your parentheses. I've told you before it didn't matter at that time. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So you plug in 15 times sine of 62, close parentheses. If you do not close, it's going to mess up your answer. Close parentheses, divide sine of what? 35. That one, if you don't close, it's okay. If you leave it open, it doesn't matter. What do we end up with 3 decimal places?
23.090.
23.091.
Oh, you round the last one?
If the number after is 5 or bigger.
Okay.
So 23.091. Questions on how we got that? Okay. I'm going to have you guys set up how to find angle or side C. I'll start you off. Sine of 35 over 15 equals blank over blank. You're looking for side C, so you use its corresponding angle and go ahead and set it up. Give you guys a few seconds. Sorry if I do that now. Juan, can you tell me what your second fraction looks like? Sine of what over what?
I didn't get that far.
Okay, I'll wait.
In the formula, it's just sine. They're all sine A over A equals sine. It's equals, right? In
Yeah.
between, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure you're right. I'm wrong.
You're good. Okay, do you have it? Sine of what? Sine of 20, that's a side. We need to do sine of an angle. So if I'm looking, what side am I looking for right now? Side C? So I'm going to use C's corresponding angle. If this is side C, what's C's corresponding angle? So sine of what? Sine of 83 over C. Did anybody get that? Okay, cross multiply, divide. Once you plug it in, what are you going to plug in your calculator? 15 times sine of 83 over what? That's what you get once you cross multiply and divide. Do you guys agree? Okay, plug it in. 3 decimal places. What do you get? 25.957. Thank you.
Ms. Soares, could you use A as like, could you do like sine, no, wait. Could you use B, I mean?
Yes.
And
Yes.
you'll get the same answer?
You get the same exact answer. Thank you for asking that. Here, I set it up for you, and I guess I should let you try it on your own. Instead of sine 35 over 15, could you have done sine 62 over 23.091? Yes. Why do I choose not to? There's 2 reasons.
There's no decimals.
It's a decimal. I'd have rather not work with the decimals. And not only is it a decimal, it's a decimal that I rounded, which is not going to give me as an exact of an answer. If the decimal was given to us, or I didn't have to round it at all, we're good. But if you rounded it, your answer is going to be a little off unless you keep all the big numbers in your calculator for the very end. Got it? Questions on number 1? We will be dealing with the law of cosines eventually. Law of sines to me is the easiest. It's just cross multiply, divide, solve, you're good. They do law of cosines does get a little more difficult.
Oh, Ms. Toys, you got the same thing even if with the rounding.
Oh, did you use
I
the
used B and C.
23.091? Okay,
Yeah.
so it did come out exact. Good. Okay. Number 2. So he tested it. It did work, so we know it works either way. 38 degrees. A is 38 degrees. Little a is 17. And little b is 13. Okay, given information, A is 38 degrees. Little a is 17. Where's little a? A, B, B, C, or C, A?
BC
B, C, so this is 17. And where is little b?
cross it's AC.
AC. This is 13. Okay, let's, up here I did forget to box in these other answers. These answers here were part of my answers. Oh, no, that was given information. I apologize, they were not. Okay. Go ahead and set that part up. Angle A, angle B, angle C, little a, little b, little c. Okay, what's given information? Angle A is 38 degrees. Little a is 17, little b is 13, and we're looking for everything else. All right, can I add and subtract to find angles B and or C? No, I don't have enough information. Okay, so we are going to go straight to law of sines to find information. Now, in previous problems, I've always said it doesn't matter what you find first. This one it does. Anybody know what's the first thing we're forced to find on this one?
Maybe C. Little C.
Okay, I hear little c. Did anybody say anything else?
Little b.
Little b. We have
Or
little
no,
b.
big b, big b.
Angle B?
Angle b.
Okay, anyone else? Angle C. Anybody that said little c, why would we have to find little c first?
Because you have little B and A.
Okay, so we have little a and b. I'm glad that came up because I did forget to bring it up on the previous problem. We have little a and b. How would I find little c? Can I use Pythagorean theorem?
No.
No, why not?
It's not a
It's not a right triangle. That's right triangle right triangle tools. And we can't use that here because it's not a right triangle. Okay, so can I find C first even if I wanted to? What am I forced to find first? Angle B. Why angle B first? Because I already know what? The length of its corresponding side. I can't find angle C or side C because I know nothing for C. So I'm forced to find B first because I already know its corresponding side. So remember, when you're doing law of sines, you should always have a set here that matches. It's not always going to be A. It might be angle B and side B, or angle C and side C that's given. In this case, it's angle A and side A. So sine of 38 over 17 equals sine of what? Sine of x, which is B in this case, over 13. What am I looking for, a side or an angle? I'm looking for an angle, which means I'm going to use what special key by the end? Inverse key. We're still going to set it up initially the same way. 13 times sine of 38 equals 17 times sine of b. And I'm trying to get b by itself. So I don't divide by sine. I divide by what? 17. Sine of b equals, this right here is what you're going to plug in your calculator. Can you guys go ahead and plug that in your calculator? 13 times sine of 38.
0.471.
And did you close your parentheses? divide by 17, and what did you get?
A little small number.
A really 0.470799, yada yada yada. Okay, I'm gonna not write all of it down. I don't want you clearing it. Don't reduce it. Just put 0.4707 dot dot dot, just to show that I'm not rounding. I didn't mean to say reduce. I'm not rounding it, but I just don't want to write the whole number down. Okay, what special key am I going to use here? Inverse. Okay, so I hit second and inverse of, is it sine? Inverse sine of that big number. I can type the big number back in or just hit what? I did show you guys this yesterday. Second answer. You may have an answer key on your calculator, but if you're using one of mine, it's second answers at the bottom by the enter key, second answer. So it's saying, hey, take inverse sine of the last number in the calculator, which is that one that I dotted on my paper. Enter, and now we can round. What is B? 28.086. 28.086 degrees. Do you guys all agree with that? Yes? Now, if you wanted to, could you have from the get-go hit second sine and then this, where is it at? This piece right here. Yes, you could hit second sine and then 13 times sine 38 divide 17. Make sure you close all the appropriate parentheses, equals, you're going to get the same answer. All right, now, can we easily find angle C? Yes or no? Okay, quickly do it. Add and subtract. Tell me, did anybody do it already? 100 and something. 113.914. And now what can we easily find? Or the last thing to find?
C.
C. And how do we find it? I could use A with A or B with B. Which one do you want to use? A. Sine of 38 over 17 equals, if I'm looking for side C, what goes at the top? Sine of what?
113.914.
Thank you. All right, go ahead and plug it in. And what's the answer? Oh, do you have to use the inverse key on this one? No, because we're not looking for an angle. We're looking for a side. We still cross multiply and divide. Once you do that, do you get 17 times sine of 113.914 over sine of 38? Plug it in your calculator. What does it come out to be? 25.242. Do we all agree? Okay, on the test, what kind of question will they ask you? It'll be something just like this, and they'll say, find the length of side C. Do we all agree that side C is the last thing you can find? You have to find angle A first, angle C second, and then, so do you have to solve the whole triangle to even get to side C? Yes or no? Yes, so that's the kind of questions they're going to ask on the test. Find the length of side C. You have to go through all this work we just did to find side C. Got it? All right. Last piece, area of a triangle. What's the area of a triangle that you learned back in maybe middle school, elementary school? Anybody remember it? Area equals 1/2 base times height, or base times height divided by 2. Okay, that still works. We're not using it in this unit because we're not going to be given the height or the base and yada yada yada. So we have different formulas that mathematicians have come up with, and it looks like this. 1/2 side B times side C times sine of angle A. I will move it. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, area equals 1/2 BC times sine of A. Got it? Or 1/2 AB times sine of C. Or 1/2, and I'm going to see if you guys can come up with a third one. There is a pattern, by the way. This is sine of A using only sides B and C. This is sine of C using only sides A and B. See if you can come up with a third one. I heard a few of you say it. What is it? Sine of AC times, I'm sorry, 1/2 AC times sine of B. Everybody agree? Anybody willing to share what pattern they've noticed? No one? It just came to you? All right, if I'm using angle A, am I going to use side A?
No.
If I'm using angle C, am I going to use side C?
No.
And angle B, no side B. Does that make sense? Yes? All right. Find the area, typical type of test question you will have. If A is 16 centimeters, B is 20 centimeters, and angle C is 84.5 degrees. I am going to draw a picture because we will have another area formula by the end of this unit. So I just want to make sure we visualize what the difference is. A, B, C. A is 16, B is 20, and angle C is 84.5 degrees. The other area formula is called Heron's area formula, I believe. And it looks different. This one, you use this particular one when it's a side angle side type formula. Do you see the angle sandwiched between two sides that you know? When it's a angle sandwiched between two sides, you're going to use this particular formula. Biggest mistake kids make on the test, they get everything right, but instead of sine, they put cosine. Be careful. Sine, not cosine. All right, which am I going to use? I only have one angle. So would I use the one that has sine of A, sine of C, or sine of B? Sine of C, because that's the angle I know. Do you guys agree? All right, so if I'm using sine of C, I'm going to cover these up here. If I'm using sine of C, not A, if I'm using sine of C, what two sides am I going to use here? A and B, because I'm not going to use side C. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay, what's A? What's B? 20. And then times sine of 84.5. And this is just a matter of plugging numbers in your calculator. Plug it in. Don't forget, it's going to be units squared, so centimeters squared at the end.
Why would you use sine C if you have like the C answer? I don't know.
If you have, what do you mean if you have the C
Like
answer?
it says angle C equals 84.5.
Uh-huh.
Isn't that sine C?
No, it's angle C. If they could give you sine of C is blah, 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 but they gave me the angle C, so I have to plug the angle into that formula right there. Sine of angle C is what this means. Hit equals, what do you guys get? I plugged that in incorrectly.
Did you leave out the 1/2?
Oh, I did. Thank you. That's why my answer was not coming out right. Thank you. How many of you caught it and didn't speak up? That's okay. Who was it that spoke up? Was it Nathaniel? Thank you. Okay. Have it here and neglected it here. I forgot it everywhere. 1/2, divide by 2, and then what do we get? 150.263 centimeters squared. Are we good?